Shalom, this is Yah is Magnified, and I'm back with another informative video. Today's video is titled, First Step, Defend. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, I would like for you all to hit that like button. And also, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And also, hit that notification bell so you all can be notified as I'm dropping these powerful videos. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, guys, so this is going to just be a quick review. I want to go over the initial process when dealing with child support, okay? So, majority of the time, they will send out an administrative notice first before they actually petition the court. So if you run across a letter like this that's on the screen that's titled Virtual Administrative Summons, that's just another way of the administrative agency petitioning or trying to get you to participate in the child support proceedings, okay? So now, let's pick this up at the very top. As you all can see, upper left-hand corner, we're coming from the Commonwealth of Virginia, Department of Social Services, Division of Child Support Enforcement. All right, highlighted in red, it states what? Virtual Administrative Summons. So this is a administrative summons that they want to have him have a hearing with the agency, not with the court, but directly with the agency online. Let's continue on. It was issued to the individual's name I crossed out, case number I crossed out. As you all can see, it's the custodial parent versus the non-custodial parent. So whenever you see that versus, that means that someone is the plaintiff and the other person is the defendant. 9 times out of 10, if you're watching my videos, then you are the defendant. So if you are the defendant, the first step to do is what? Is to defend, okay? So now let's go over this virtual administrative summons and let's break this thing down, okay? So we all can get better understanding. Just in case you all ever receive a virtual administrative summons. This doesn't matter if you're already on child support or they're trying to initiate child support against you. The rules are always the same, okay? So now let's pick this up at the top. It states, to the person summoned. Highlighted in red, guys. To the person summoned. So who's the person? Let's go to legal definition for the term person. Let's get a better understanding. Let's go there. Okay, so now, as you all can see on the screen, we're coming from the Black Law Dictionary. Let's pick it up at the very top where it states person. Highlighted in yellow, and it reads, in general usage, a human being, i.e. natural person. So when they're speaking in general, guys, they simply means a human being, i.e. a natural person. But we know that dealing with child support, they're not speaking in general usage. Why? Because they're speaking through statute. But let's continue on. It states, though by statute, term may include labor organizations, partnerships, associations, corporations, legal representatives, and trustees. So guys, the ones that's highlighted in red are the main terms that they're using when you're entering into these courts, okay? You're going into the courtroom as the trustee once you admit to being that legal entity, aka the defendant, okay? That's there to do what? That's there to defend, all right? So again, let's go back now and let's read the virtual administrative summons again. Let's pick that up. So now we know what a person is. So we're going to just replace person with trustee, okay? Let's continue on. Okay, so now, as you all can see, we're right back at the virtual administrative summons. Let's pick this up at the top again where it's highlighted in red, and it reads, to the person summoned, but like I stated, we're going to replace person with trustee so this document can now make sense. It states, to the trustee summoned, the district manager of this office is requiring you to appear by calling 504-332-9367 at the appointment date and time indicated above to provide essential information for the establishment or enforcement of your child support case. So again, guys, this document should automatically raise a red flag because we know that by the titles of the custodial parent and non-custodial parent, they're dealing with trust, okay? So this document was in fact sent to the trust. Now, if a man or a woman receive this document and they go to court acting as the trustee on behalf of the trust, then they will be held liable for the debts of that trust, okay? But now, another key word that is very interesting is they want him to appear by calling a telephone number, okay? Which one can simply not do, all right? And one should simply not do, okay? Because by calling a telephone number, for one, that is not a proper form of appearance. And number two, you cannot appear at an administrative hearing. You can only appear at a court. To further prove that, let's go to the definition for the term appear. Let's go there. Okay, so we're back at the Black Law Dictionary. Let's scroll down to appear. highlighted in yellow, appear. To be what? To be properly before a court. All right, and it's just that simple, guys. But let's continue. As a fact or matter of which it can take notice, to be in evidence, to prove, coming into court by a party to a suit, whether plaintiff or defendant. So again, guys, there's only two parties to a suit, which is plaintiff and defendant, okay? Both of those are trust. The plaintiff is a trust and the defendant is a trust, okay? They're bringing us to court for antitrust offenses, and it's just that simple, all right? So if you decide to be the plaintiff or the defendant, you are still acting as the trust or the trustee on behalf of the trust that was summoned to appear. Also known as what? A representative party as well, okay? Or you're acting in the representative capacity of that legal trust. And it's just that simple, guys, okay? Just to sum it all up. But now, let's go back to, again, the virtual administrative summons so we can get a better understanding of what's going on. Let's continue on. All right, we're right back at the virtual administrative summons. But now let's read paragraph 2. After we already read paragraph 1, we proved in order for one to appear, he must go before a court. Now let's continue on, though. It states what? Failure to appear is required. So hold on. They saying failure to appear is required. That means failure to come before a court as required, right? But they want us to believe that failure to call that number, then they will what? Hold you in contempt. Let's continue reading. It states what? Failure to appear as required would be considered contempt of this summons, and a judicial referral and or suspension of your driving license may be enforced by this division to gain your compliance. The Division of Child Support Enforcement, Department of Social Service, Commonwealth of Virginia, issues this summons in accordance with authority granted by Virginia law. So again, guys, so now they're trying to put in threats and everything else for not voluntarily participating in the agency shamble as if they have judicial authority to make someone act the way they want them to act, which is completely false, guys, okay? They cannot threaten you on letters for you not to appear for an administrative hearing when you're not obligated to appear at said administrative hearings. Why? Because administrative hearing is not judicial. An administrative agency does not have judicial authority to order anyone to appear because one can only appear before the court. And it's just that simple, guys, okay? So they want to use like contempt of summons and contempt of court and all that nonsense, suspending your driver's license and everything else. Even by them trying to do that, you can get all that reversed and overturned. Why? Because they don't have judicial authority to force anyone to appear. You're not obligated to act on an administrative agency's order, okay? Why? Because they are only acting on statutes and codes, okay? That's it. That's all. So when you get this letter, the first thing you should do is what? Defend. What does it mean to defend? Let's go to the definition of defend so you can get a better understanding of what that means. So as you defend, you could simply keep it short, simple, and to the point, guys. That's it. That's all. Now let's go to the definition for the word defend. Okay, so now as you all can see, again, we're coming from the Black Laws Dictionary. Let's pick this up at the very top where it states defend, highlighted in yellow, and it reads to prohibit or forbid. Just those two words are okay, but the main definition for defend is simply to what, guys? To deny, as it is highlighted in red. Plain and simple, to deny, okay? Like the maxim of law states, he who does not deny admits, okay? So by you failing to deny, you automatically admit, then they'll proceed forward in the claim and the argument, and then boom, next thing you know, you'll put on support. Now let's continue. It also states what? To contest and endeavor to defeat a claim or demand made against one and what? In a court of justice, guys. And so the claim have to come into a court of justice, not just before administrative agency. Yes, an administrative agency can try to trick you into going down there to submit all your rights and enter into a contract voluntarily with them if you choose to. But it's not in your best interest to do that. Believe me, I know. I did that. But let's continue on. It states, to oppose, repel, or resist, to protect, to shield, to make a stand for. Remember, guys, I go to court and tell you all to do what? To stand firm. Do not let off the topic. Stay focused. Understand what's really going on. Let's continue on. It states what? Or uphold by force or argument. The reason why I highlighted argument because we know not to argue in the court. Why? Because argue adds on to controversy. Just simply deny, 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 deny. Just that simple, guys. There's nothing else to it. But let's continue on. It states what? To vindicate, to maintain or keep secure, to guarantee, to agree to indemnify, to represent, defendant in what? An administrative, right? Civil or criminal proceedings. So now, if you're going in as a defendant, right? Or they claim that you're going in as the defendant. Obviously, you're not going in as the defendant because they know, like I know, that the defendant is a trust. So you're going in as the representative capacity on behalf of the trust that's making you the trustee that's being held liable for the trust obligations. And that's all. And that's it. That's all. But it's not even the trust obligations. It's the state obligation that created the trust. And it's just that simple, guys. Let's continue on because, like I stated before, when you're in the court, you're only going to be two parties, a plaintiff or the defendant. Let's see what the defendant is. The defendant is what? The person defending or what? Denying. That's it. That's all, guys. To defend is to deny. Nothing more, nothing less, okay? So just make sure that you all deny. That's the first step in fighting against your child support situation. Or when they try to bring you into a child support situation, you always deny. Even if you're on child support currently, deny. And it's just that simple, guys. So now let's go back to the document, the Virtual Administrative Summons, and let's go back over there one more time. Let's go there. Okay, so again, we're back at the Virtual Administrative Summons, but let's pick this up at the second paragraph again. But the last sentence was highlighted in red that states what? In accordance with authority granted by Virginia law. Now, as you all can see, they did not quote any laws, statutes, or codes to prove said authority. Why is that? Because they're not really dealing with law, guys. They're dealing with public policy. How do we know this? It's because they're dealing with the public interest. Whenever something's pertaining to the public interest, such as child support, because child support is what? A recuperation of taxpayer funds. So the child support enforcement program is to benefit the taxpayers, not the individual children, as many case laws stated before. So now that we're dealing with public interest, then we're only dealing with public policy. So now let's go over the legal definition of public policy. Then I'm gonna let you guys go, and I gotta get back to work and do more studying and more research, and I got a lot of other things I got going on. But let's go over public policy. Then I'll let you guys go. Okay, so now, as you all can see, we're right back at the Black Laws Dictionary. Let's pick this up at the top where it states policy highlighted in yellow, and it reads, the general principle by which a government is guided in its management of public affairs, or the legislator in its measures. Then it states, a general term used to describe all contracts of what? Insurance. Now, that's kind of strange, guys, because I forgot to read one part of the last document. So now let's go back to the document one more time for the virtual administrative summons. Let's go back to that document one more time, but we're gonna go over the first line of the third paragraph real quick. Let's go back there. Okay, so again, we're right back at the virtual administrative summons, but now let's read the first line of the third paragraph. Very top, guys, and it reads, an order for child support and a provision for what? Health insurance will be ordered. Enclosed is the financial statement that you must complete and return by uploading the documents to that website, okay? But the strange part is, again, guys, they're talking about what? An order for child support and a provision of what? Health insurance. Same thing we just went over, guys. Now let's go back. So now you see that we are also still dealing with what? Public policy. That's also dealing with what? Insurance contracts. Let's continue on, though. Okay, so we're right back at the top. Let's pick this up where it states policy again. It states the general principle by which a government is guided in its management of public affairs, or the legislator in its measures. A general term used to describe what? Again, all contracts of insurance. Basically, we just went over. That's why they said they're going to enter order pertaining to healthcare insurance as well. Why? Because they're dealing with what? The public affairs. But let's continue on. It states this term, as applied to a law, ordinance, or rule of law, denotes its general purpose or tendencies considering as directed to the welfare or prosperities of the state or community. That's all it's dealing with, guys. It's the benefits of the state. It's the state's welfare program. It's the state's interest that only matters, okay? So now let's go over the legal definition highlighted in yellow for public policy. And it reads, that principle of law which holds that no subject, what is a subject, guys? A subject is considered to be a citizen. So if you're going to court claiming to be a state citizen, a United States citizen, or any other type of citizen, then you are subject, okay? You are subject to the laws and authorities of the corporate United States and its states. But let's continue. Let's read it again. Public policy. That principle of law which holds that no subject can lawfully do that which has a tendency to be injurious to what? To the public or against the public good. Okay, so if you're doing something against the public, that's a violation of public policy. So child support is there to enforce the public policy. Let's continue on. Then it states the principles under which the freedom of contracts or private dealings is restricted by law for the good of the community. So they're stating if you are subject to, meaning if you are pretending to be or coming to the court as that legal entity, aka the trust, aka the United States citizen or that state citizen, then you lose your freedom of right to contract when it comes to what? Public policy. And it's just that simple, guys. That's how strong public policy is. Why? Because the subject cannot go against its ruler, okay? The one he pledges allegiance to, the one who governs over him. All right. If even if two people have a valid contract, if it goes against public policy, it automatically voids out that contract because public policy resides over or sustains over both of the subjects, which are the citizens. So let's continue on though. It states the term policy, as applied to a statute, regulation, rule of law, course of action, or the like, refers to its probable effect, tendencies, or object, considering with the reference of the social or political well-being of what? Of the state. All this has everything to do with the state, guys. Everything is there to benefit the state. That's it. That's all. All the benefits are to benefit the state. Let's continue on. It states, thus certain classes of acts are said to be a what? Against public policy, when the law refuses to enforce or recognize them on the grounds that they have a mischievous tendency so as to be what? Injurious to the interests of the state apart from the legality or immorality. So again, it can be moral what you have done. It can be legal what you're doing. Only thing about it is, if it goes against the interest of the state, they're going to block it, guys. And it's just that simple. Why? Because you cannot go in as subject, okay? Once you go in as a subject in that courtroom, then they control you completely, guys. And it's just that simple. But look, that's what I'm going to do for today. If you all need my help, hit me up at my email at y'allismagnified@gmail.com. Let's get this right wisdom, this right knowledge, and this right understanding. Continue to study, guys. Continue to study. Study to show that selves approved. Keep applying pressure for those who's fighting the good fight. Don't stop, don't quit. And with that being said, guys, you all be blessed. And I say, shalom.